Hey, and welcome, Miss Kira Speaks. Now you already know what I'm gonna say. Please watch the videos till the end, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, cause you know how I do. We're here for another episode of Growing Up Hip Hop, Season 7, Episode 3, Family Business. And it's the Sam and Egypt show, cause you already know. We're opening the episode up. Sam is in the studio and he's working on some music for this, that, and the other. Egypt comes in and she's excited because she's getting ready to go on this tour with her mom. They, start chitting and chatting, talking back and forth, and he's asking her if she's going to be okay without him. She kind of gives him a little bit of pause and she says that she'll miss him. She tells him that his time is coming because Sam starts with the I stuff. This is the biggest tour that I could hope to be on. And I, and me, and me, and me, and you already know how I feel about Sam. So he starts joking with her about not looking too good going on this tour. Egypt is worried with him not being there because she doesn't want to do too much because, she's pregnant, but she's barely pregnant, y'all. But we're going to leave that alone. She's worried about getting to sleep and what she's going to eat because, Sam just does everything for her. And I really just hate that she's so dependent on him. Like, you can't figure out what to eat without him. Like, baby girl, come on. Just too dependent. I don't know what she sees in him. His looks are, there's somebody for everybody. I guess that's what my mama say. And he ain't taking care of the other kids. You about to give him another baby when he's not taking care of the other one. So I don't know. He's not charming. We're going to move right along. So they briefly talk about the court case and he says he's confident with how the court case is going to go and that maybe, it is kind of good that she's out and doing things on her own because that'll be good for us because if he has to get locked up, then he'll have something to come home to. And I'm riding the coattails of Tretch and Peppa and Egypt all the way along. So he talks about a food truck business and was it a smoothie? Was it a frosty? Was it an icy child? It don't even matter. But he says that Pep is on board. And this kind of goes back to what Tretch was saying. Everything he does off of their name. And I'm sure while she didn't pay for that house, she's financially invested in this business as she financially invests in every doggone thing that Sam has going on. Child, because Tretch told Egypt and Sam that dreams do not pay the bills, okay? And I just wish after that little interview that Egypt and Sam had with Tasha K that, some of the little bells would have clicked and went off, and I'll be happy when she gets there. In the previews we've already started to see that Tretch is, not buying the BS, but in the previews we're starting to see that maybe even Mama Pep is, starting to wake up a little bit. So child, fingers crossed. Just pray for the good, sis Egypt. Just pray. So we see messy Eric, and he's busy working in the studio when JoJo comes in, and JoJo starts talking about, he's been behind the scenes for years, but he's kind of starting to want to get out front. And JoJo, you did want to make some music because back on Run's house, you and your little crew was trying to do it, but it ain't really happy for you. But anywho, JoJo's been behind the scenes, but he's had that itch to get out front. He is making an album. I think the album is called Legacy. And then also there'll be a track called Legacy. And he wants to get, Eric on the track because he's Easy's son. So we got NWA, we got Run DMC. We're going to make it do what it do. So Lazy comes by and JoJo plays him the track titled Legacy. And like I said, it's him, it's Eric, and it also has Brian McKnight Jr. Who wouldn't know? But you need a little R&B, let's go with the hip hop, mix it all together, make it all nice. And, JoJo's verse, I wasn't mad at it. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. So Lazy, he asked JoJo to perform for this 50th anniversary of hip hop tour. He wants to honor NWA and he wants to honor Run DMC or, their dads in particular. And I think that will be really nice. We like to see the old and the new come together and, make it happen. So Messy E, he kind of brings up this beach party situation because JoJo, he wasn't there. So Lazy says that he basically thought everybody knew, including Sacoya. So I guess he was caught off guard, but that's not really how you acted. But we're going to let you have that when everybody else knew. So how could Sacoya not know about their panorama love? And JoJo's like, it shouldn't be that serious. It should be nothing but a conversation. And that's basically where we wrap it up there. But I have a little sidebar for y'all. So now we're filming. We're in Vegas. We're in LA. We're in Atlanta. And I just want you guys to get down in the comments and let me know how you feel about them jumping around from location to location and not having, because remember we had like a growing up hip hop Atlanta and we had like a growing up hip hop, I don't know, I guess LA was just plain old growing up hip hop. We had, and then they merged them all together. So I know I'm rambling a little bit, but get down in the comments and let me know how you feel about them moving around from location to location. So we see Pep and we see Egypt, and they're talking a little show business because, like I said, you know, Egypt is joining her mom on tour to perform a couple of songs. And Egypt, you know, she's reminiscing about how when her mom was on tour, and she's got pictures, and we take a little trip down memory lane. And it's, you know, it's cute or not. So Egypt is going to do a sound check, but since we just talked about JoJo and now we're talking about Egypt, I want you guys to let me know. Do you think that these hip hop kids should forge their own paths? Or are you checking for music from Egypt? Are you checking for music from JoJo? Let me know. I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. If it sounds good and it's a bop, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm 50-50 in a situation. So Egypt, she's doing her sound check, and Pep, she's a little worried. She's part mom, she's part businesswoman, and you know, this is her baby. Pep is saying sis might have to change up some of these dance moves, and she might not be able to drop it as low as she used to. And she's saying that Egypt is experiencing morning sickness, and she went through the same thing herself, which Trutch kind of told us in the last episode, and that she toured and went through the same situation with both of her kids, both Tyran and Egypt. Meanwhile, Egypt is primarily worried about them vocals and what them vocals gonna do. So while they're doing the sound check and they got the track playing, they hear a little click clack, you know, gun sound in the background, and Pep is like, oh no, that's gotta go. And Egypt agrees. She doesn't want to trigger anybody in this climate. It's too much. So they call Sam, and as soon as they get Sam on the phone, he's on his BS. I told y'all needed me there. Sam really grinds my gears. He grinds my gears, y'all. So he's like, if mama's gonna question my work, she's gonna have to pay me. Sam, haven't you got enough from this lady? Like, haven't you got enough? She has carried y'all for quite some time, because Lord knows you haven't done it. What work have you been doing? You haven't been taking care of your kids. You haven't been taking care of Egypt. You haven't been taking care of your damn self. So zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. Like I said, when it comes to Sam, your girl can go all the way off. But when push comes to shove, it turns out that Sam sent them the wrong track. I will say it 1,000 times. He is riding these people's coattails. So he sends them the right one, and that still wasn't right. And Pep had to get with the sound engineer and do what it do. And he basically was gonna listen to one, listen to other, but at the end of the day, he was gonna have to just edit that sound out, which you know that they can do. So Sam, like, bring it down. Your head is a little bit swole. And that was what was gonna have to end up happening. But we're gonna move on and get over to JoJo and Eric. So JoJo meets Messy Eric, and they're at like a casino. And we find out that this is where Eric has been spending most of his time. Everybody knows his name, like Cheers. You know, the lady at the restaurant, she knows his name. The guy at the table. You see where this is going. So Eric says it's his stress relief, and JoJo's like, I mean, they know your name, so are you here every day? And how does Aaliyah feel about this? And my kids are screaming in the background. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Hold on one second. Child, where was I at? Because these kids are not trying to have me be great. JoJo is asking him how Aaliyah feels about it, and of course Aaliyah wants him home. I mean, I guess he's not cheating, but this is going to clearly be Eric's storyline for the season. And he's saying that at one point he was spending $1,000 a day in the casino, but that is basically his play money. Sir, you have kids. That money could go someplace else. You don't need $1,000 worth of play money. Just my opinion. Then again, my dad is not Eazy-E. And basically him and JoJo are agreeing that it's not a money thing. So what they're telling us here is that Messy Eric does indeed look like he has just a little bit of a gambling problem. So they start talking about what's going on with JoJo, and Tanice's dad comes up in the conversation, and JoJo is basically saying he don't have a problem with him. So Eric is asking, what problem does Tanice's dad have with him? And JoJo's like, and he don't. You know, some dudes are just like that. I don't think he really has a problem with JoJo. And if he does, I mean, is he jealous? What do you guys think? Get down in the comments and let me know. It's just a weird, like, macho type of I'm a toxic dude type of thing, because JoJo is like, I be home, I Netflix and chill, I pay the bills, I take care of my kids. So I don't know what problem this man can possibly have with me. And he doesn't know either, JoJo. He don't know. Nobody knows. Like I said, JoJo's basically saying that he's a good guy. And I think in the trailer for the season, we did see Tanice's dad throw a drink on JoJo. So we definitely going to have to get into that and find out what that's about. But first, we're going to have to go over to Sacoya and her Airbnb as she's on the FaceTime with her dad, JoJo. All these doggone JoJos. JoJo, baby JoJo, JoJo from Casey and JoJo. Excuse me, y'all. So she's basically saying to him that her mom done switch it up. Her mom is changing. She doesn't know how to deal with her. She doesn't know how to deal with the situation. And she is feeling like she's caught in the middle. She asked him how he's feeling about the whole situation. And then she's saying that she doesn't agree with it. Now, didn't in the last episode, or maybe it was the first episode, that she just said she basically wanted Tiny and JoJo both to be happy? Now she's saying she doesn't agree with it. Now, if she's talking about the person in particular, I'll give her that. But other than that, she said that she wanted them to be happy. And everybody knows that JoJo has put Tiny through it. So please let this lady live. So we finally see Eric, and I think he's picking his kids up for school. It's his daughter and it's his son. One's in the back seat, one's in the front seat. These two are clowning. He gets a business call, but they throwing food. Like I said, they throwing food, they clowning, they yelling, they fighting. He's got to like try to give them that dad eye, but it's not working. And you know, I mean, the man is on camera, so you don't want to get the kids little pow-pows on camera. So it don't seem like they tighten up. We finally arrive at their house, which is this the same house that they had in other seasons? Inquiring minds want to know. You can get down in the comments and let me know. All these people doing Airbnbs, with the exception of maybe Angela, because I think that was Angela's house that they showed us. So they come in, and the son, he's acting brand new, and Aaliyah says in her confessional that he's a good father, but he's not around a lot, so that leaves her stressed out. She starts talking about the daughter has a party to go to, and he doesn't want to take the daughter to the party. He's basically saying that it's on her. And then she's asking him, she called him the other night and he was at the casino. Why didn't you answer your phone? I need you to answer your phone if you're at the casino. And he's like, the phone was in the car. Well, the phone shouldn't be in the car, child. It's a whole back and forth and a whole lot of blah, blah, and a whole lot of B to the S. She just wants him to answer his phone. Speaking of gambling, he just wants to go gambling. So he's about to head out. She wants him to help her cook. He's not trying to hear it. And he basically is like, nah, don't do this. And he just leaves. He leaves, and I need him to do better. If y'all are blessed to be in a two-parent household, help your partner out. Help your partner out, because it's clear he doesn't spend too much time at the house. And don't leave her doing everything. So you just don't want to be an adult. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. You don't want to help with the kids. You just want to pay the bills, and that's it. I'm not with it. Yes, I mean, pay the bills by all means, but help your spouse, help your partner, y'all. It's the small things. It really is. So now back to the sis Egypt. She is ready to hit the stage, and she and Pep, they are hype, you know. And Pep, she's a little nervous. And Trepa, that's what we going by, Egypt. Yikes. So she performs, and you know, she's doing her thing, and she starts to rap, and I'm like, okay. And I applaud her for pursuing her dreams. It is not easy to get out in front of your girl can't even do a live. So it's not easy to get out in front of a arena, stadium, whatever she was in, full of people, and just, you know, perform and try and give it your all. So kudos to the good sis, Egypt. So afterwards, she thanks her mom, and, you know, she's just singing her mom's praises. And I just love to see it. You love to see when people, you know, show their appreciation and give their flowers. And I feel like she's kind of always giving Pep her flowers in terms of her being a performer. She might have little issues with her being a mother, but it was just nice to see. And you could tell that it, you know, it warmed Pep's good old heart. So now we are ending this episode, y'all. Sacoya goes to see her mom, and she is on 10. Her attitude is absolutely, it's not good. So she's there and she's like, yeah, okay, so you said you needed to talk. And so, like, you know, I want to know, like, what's going on? And this is the energy that she was on now. And before Tiny can even get anything out, she interrupts her, and she, you know, she starts bringing up the rumors about Lazy and them flirting at the party, and, you know, like, what's really good. So Tiny, she's on her calm grown woman. She's like, listen, you know what was going on. I moved out that house 2 years ago, and, you know, I've been doing my own thing, and Lazy and I, we've developed a fondness for each other. So I think at this point she asked Tiny if her dad knew about this fondness, and she's like, you know, they've had conversation. So Sacoya starts to get upset, like, you know, I'm the last one to know, and that she doesn't want her dad to think that she knew anything about the situation. She thinks the whole situation is weird. She doesn't know how to feel about it, and Tiny is trying to, like, interject and be like, you know, I might not be, you know, taking your calls or whatever, but I'm handling the business. She's like, but no, you're not. You're not handling the business, and I think I need to seek new management. And Tiny's like, so that's what you want to do? You want to seek new management? Like, I'm not trying to have a problem with you. Tiny's she's trying to keep it down here, because Miss Sacoya, she's up here. And she's like, you mix business, Sacoya, you mix business with pleasure, and I don't like it. And Tiny's like, okay, now, baby girl, like, I'm gonna need you to stay in a child's place. Oh, so I'm a child now. And I got where she was coming from with that. And again, we'll go to these elders. Sometimes they be on that, you know, you grown, but you're not grown type of level, and you're gonna have to respect it. She's basically telling her to stay in her place. And Sacoya's like, you're still married. And Tiny, she kind of tries to explain herself. I don't know how good of a job she did, because, like I said, she was trying to keep it around here. Sacoya was definitely up here. And as Tiny is trying to explain herself, I think Sacoya's like, you know, so y'all are never getting back together. And Tiny, you know, basically was like, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. And so she gets up and she's about to storm out, and she's like, you know, he'll break your heart. Like, just wait for it. You know how these rappers are. And she goes on out. Tiny follows her outside. She's telling Tiny she has other options. These two are going back and forth, because Tiny's like, you know, you gonna need me before I need you, because she's not appreciating the tone or the vibe that Sacoya is on at all. And she's basically saying, I don't want my mom to date a rapper. And at that point, they kind of basically part ways. Like, it's a little bit more back and forth. They part ways. She goes on her way. Tiny, she's getting teared up. And that's basically where the episode ends. And I kind of see where both Tiny and Sacoya were coming from, because the whole rapper situation is like, you go from JoJo, who's giving you issues, to Lazy, and is Lazy gonna really in the long run be much better than JoJo? But the episode was you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you thought about it. Eric's storyline was weak, although we don't want him to have gambling problems. I'm gonna need you to do more in your household, sir. It is a must. I'm glad that Egypt finally got to perform and pursue her dreams. And in terms of, you know, Sacoya and Tiny, part of it is like, is it really that big of a deal? But then, like I said, I understand her part of it. For her to mix business and pleasure, maybe perhaps Sacoya does need to find new management so her and her mom can keep you know, their thing going, and she could have her business going, you know. But, you know, your girl will be watching. Like I said, get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on the episode, and join me back here for episode 4. Until then, I will see you later. Peace.